Let's try this again. Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another Industria development stream. My mic, for some reason, reset itself to the default device. I don't know why it did that, but OBS moment, I suppose. So yeah, we are back with another Industria stream. As I said, it would probably be yesterday. And yeah, we're just going to continue with Conveyors today. Let me quickly announce in Discord. Okay, there we go. So last time we did a lot of it, really. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And hopefully we're going to have a working conveyor by the end of today. That's the hopes and dreams. First of all, let's start with what we currently have, because I can now run the game. We couldn't last time. We had some issues with something. I think it was a codec related thing. I fixed all of that anyways. And I also have got models and stuff in, so I got codecs to actually generate me the models. It did an okay job. You'll see them in a second. Obviously they're temporary models, but for now they're fine, because for now we just want something so that we can actually see the conveyors, right? Later down the road I'll make some actual models, but now these are fine. If the game will run. Is it doing anything? It is. Okay. We just have to wait a second for this. Also, the chat should now be fixed since last time. I hope. Once again, if not, please ping me in Discord. Discord linked in the description of the stream. I think it should be fixed now. I don't know why it was broken last time, so hopefully it doesn't break again at some point. But okay. So if we just load into the world here, so these are the conveyors. So these are the models it made. They're not terrible. Obviously they're very temporary, you know. Like a conveyor isn't going to have stairs like this. That doesn't really make sense. The corners don't look very good. They just don't really work. Like it kind of works. It'll work enough, basically. And it has also done the model in the hand, but obviously that's not great. I mean, you can see that's not great. Yeah, even more so there. So anyways, we can place the conveyors down, and this just works. It's not perfect. So, like here, for example, like this should change into a corner one, really, when we do that, but it doesn't. So I have to replace that one down. Now when I place a block, this does work, so that's fine. And then it does I think it kind of does it on the other side, but I think you have to do it like it's based on like the face of the block you're placing on. So I have to place it on this face compared to there. So it's not perfect, and also like that, I don't know why it does that. So yeah, it's not perfect, so it's going to need some work, but for now it's fine. It's good enough. It gets us something that we can kind of actually test the logic of the conveyors, because that's the more important thing at the end of the day, is having actual you know, logic based conveyors. I don't know what the hell happened there. Oh, I see. It's trying to like connect to these ones. So yeah, I'm obviously gonna have to come back and fix this at some point. Probably write it myself, to be honest, rather than trying to rely on codecs to do it for me, because I just don't think it just can't do it. It really struggles. I mean, this works. It's obviously just not great, right? I think that's needless to say. But anyways, so that's kind of the conveyors. Now we need to sort out like networks, right? The other thing, when we currently how this works is when we place them down next to each other, they connect and form a network. That shouldn't really happen though. So for example, like this would just be one big network because they're all connected, and this wouldn't even be a part of the network because it's not a neighbor of these blocks. So that's an issue, like a pretty major issue, to be honest. But we also kind of can't really fix that until we actually fix the placement, because we need to fix the placement in order to know when to add it to the network or not, because it will obviously depend on the placement. For example, like this one needs to, or like this one needs to know if there's a conveyor here or here for it to be able to join that network, right? So it's a question of like, how do we fix that? I think for now we're not actually going to worry about it at all, and we're just going to move on. But it's definitely something we will need to come back to. Like, we have to come back to it. So we will do that, just not right now, of course. So most importantly, we do need to actually tick the network, because currently the network doesn't tick and it also doesn't render. So I think let's sort that out first. So best place to look to start here is going to be the pipe network manager, and we're going to look for, oops, not that. We're going to look for the tick method. There we go. And we're just going to find where this is called. I believe there's a level tick event somewhere. Yeah, here. So first of all, let's just rename this to level, like that. And then we're going to do our logic here. So we're going to do let's do level conveyor networks dot get or create level dot get network manager dot tick level, right? So that will basically do what we want there. I'm also going to actually add this same command here for resetting the conveyor networks. So kind of the same, and then it will be sync. So this will be reset conveyor networks, and this will execute reset conveyor networks command like that. And then I'm just going to go to this, and can I reveal this in the Explorer? Is that's a thing you can do, right? Is there not a shortcut to like just show it like in the project window? That must be a thing, right? Alright, it's going to be in here anyways. So, fine, we'll just copy it. So reset conveyor networks command, and this is going to get the level conveyor networks, which will be the level conveyor networks will be level conveyor networks. So get. This is not the server world, this is the server level. I need to fix the other ones at some point as well, but for now, it's fine. Then we just need to do level conveyor networks dot get network manager dot clear, and then level conveyor networks dot set dirty. That's basically it. So that's all that needs to actually do there. Okay, lovely. That just allows us to reset those if that's what we want to do. And then, yeah, so now we have the actual manager ticking, right? So if we go into that tick method, I think it just ticks the networks, if I recall correctly. But let's just double check. Yes, it does. So it just goes through each network and it ticks the network. So really, this is where all of the logic needs to actually happen in here. Now you can see right now what it does is it goes through the connected blocks and then It just passes items in if it can. But now I think that's fine. Yeah, I think so. What we might want to do here is we might want to restructure this a little bit. So maybe the connected blocks, rather than just being like a set of positions, is instead a map of position, a map of block pos to block pos, right? That way we can say that one conveyor connects to one block rather than the other way around, right? Or rather than just having a connected block that could be connected to any number of conveyors, we just have... Yeah, I think that's actually a better way to do things. Now, I don't think this needs to exist. Yeah, I don't know why that even came from, actually. But that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna change this to a map of block pos to block pos, and that will just be equal to a new concurrent hash map, like that. Okay, so this obviously is going to break a bunch of things, but that's fine. So we can do here put all. And this is currently a block pos set stream codec. Instead, this needs to be... What's the best way to do this? Well, we need to make a codec basically for the map. So this one would also be put all, by the way. I think let's just create that in here. So let's create a, I think just a normal codec, I believe it is. And this will be a codec of a map of a block pos to block pos. And this will be the connected blocks codec will be equal to codec.unboundedMap. And then we'll just do block pos.codec and block pos.codec. And then we need to do the exact same, but for the stream codec as well. So this will be a stream codec of a map of block pos. Oh, it needs to also take in a byte buff as the first parameter. And this will be the connected blocks stream codec. And that will be... Just trying to think where it's located. I think it's byte buff codecs. Yeah, byte buff codecs dot map, and then we can do hash map new. We can do block pos dot stream codec and block pos dot stream codec, like that. Okay, and now I'm just going to put these on new lines like that. So then this can become a connected blocks codec. And that's fine, we'll come back to that one in a second. This one also connected blocks codec. Okay, now we do need to fix this. So this will now become a map of block pos, which should fix all of our errors up here. But all connected blocks. It doesn't like this. Oh, this needs to be the stream codec. Which I think is the issue we're having at the end of the last stream, by the way. Sometimes I was using the codec when it should have been a stream codec. And it doesn't really give a descriptive error that states that, so it's a little bit confusing. Block pos, origin, and then this will be the let's do pos, and then let's do block. Well, Block pause connection. Let's do that. And then it'll put connection pause. Okay. This. So this needs to be the other way round, right? We need to remove the value. Is that possible though? Entry set. I guess the best way to do this is like that, right? Or even actually, I don't know why I did it like that. Values dot remove if. Can we do that though? I don't know, because I don't know if values is going to be a concurrent. It should be, because I think the way concurrent hash maps work is they have two concurrent sets. So you have the key set and the value set. I think those are both concurrent, I believe. Otherwise it wouldn't really work, right? They kind of have to be concurrent. Now if we do key set view, hopefully we can see somewhere that this is a concurrent one. It doesn't state that it is. I mean, you have this method here though, right? So this is a new key set. Yeah, so yeah, that says to me that that's basically concurrent. So that's fine. I think that's fine. So that just removes them if the... Oh, that would remove it from the values, though. That wouldn't remove... Okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, what we had before is fine. So we have to filter, see if the value is the pause, find the first one. If it's present, then remove it by the key. I think that's fine. This is okay. It just needs to, once again, be a map of block pause. I cannot type, as usual. Okay, so then we put all. Okay, so this just needs to be put all. Okay, this needs to be... So this method isn't even used, so to be honest, I'm going to yeet them. Honestly, like, this one isn't used either, so I'm going to yeet it. Currently this isn't used, but this might be used eventually. Best way to do this is probably remove the key set. You can do that, right? You actually can't. Interesting. Okay, in that case, the best way to do this is do the entry set and then do for each and do remove entry.get key entry.get value. Like that. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, okay. Even better. Lovely. So this can just be the values. Well, no, we're going to yeet this. Because this, yes, we want to yeet this. Because what we're going to do is we're going to tick all the items. And we're only going to then push to those connected blocks when we have an item in the key that is associated with that connected block. That way, we're basically going to maximize performance. So that's what I want to do. So this is where things get complicated. So, okay. Okay, I think the best way to start here is to just use the storage, right? So let's go storage, and let's do Get storages dot values, I want to say. I think we want to use the values, and then let's do 4. So I guess this will get the storage. Then let's get the block pos, which is going to be the position. And then... Okay, and then what we can do... So this suggests that we make the storage itself tick. I don't think that's a good idea. And the reason I don't think that's a good idea is because the storage isn't aware of its neighbors. Like, it's not aware of the neighboring conveyors. It only knows its current position. It doesn't know what the neighbors are. It doesn't know which one it's connected to or anything. So... we don't want to do that. Did you see that MC is switching to Vulkan? I have seen that, yes. And I think, honestly, it's interesting, but it's not going to make a big difference for most people. It won't make a difference for me, even. I don't think I'm using anything GL related in the mod. If we go, what is it, Control-Shift-F? So these are all just crash logs. No, we're not. If we do FileMask Java, okay, we are using geostatemanager.enableBlend for select enum button. That's going to get ditched at some point anyways, because we're going to work, or the UI lib is going to replace that. We are using glfw for keys. That's fine though. That will be trivial to replace. We obviously can't actually replace that until they switch to Vulkan anyways. So yeah, I mean, that's all fine. Okay, anyways. So let's... Okay, what we can do... Let's get the conveyor. We need to get the progress, right? So let's get the... I don't remember how I defined that. Oh, I defined it in the item container, I think. Did I? Or did I just not create a thing for it, I guess? Okay, I just didn't create a method to get it, I think. Oh, no, I see. I see, because the conveyor storage is the storage for a specific conveyor block, not the specific item on that conveyor block. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to do conveyor storage.get items, and then loop over the items, and then we can do item... not var. I don't know why I did that. It's not what I wanted to do. I want to do item dot... Okay, we can get the progress. Item progress. Which do you hate more, C++, modding, or Java? What do you mean C++ modding? What does that even mean? You can't mod in C++. What does that even mean? Okay, I've done this as a float. I don't actually want it as a float, though. I want it as an int. Just because I think that's going to be easier to deal with, generally, if we make that an int. So... that's what we're doing. Okay, so we can do int item progress. You can mod in C++. The powder toy is an example. Okay, well, I've never modded some random game. No. So I don't know. That sounds awful, though. I would hate to do that. C++ is not a language designed for modding. C++ is very... It's just not designed for that. Like, that's just not... It's a really bad language for that. Which is why most games do not use C++ for modding. They use something like Lua, which you can easily load into C++. Or they might use a custom language, of course, but Lua is typically the go-to. C++ ones also use C# sometimes, which is all right. So, but I don't know. I've only ever modded Minecraft, so I don't have any opinion on what those games are like to mod. Okay. So progress. Okay. So I'm just trying to think how we want to do this. So an item has a progress. I think that the best way to do said progress is going to be, let's have like a int max progress, which will be 100, right? Make that public. So we can create like a float progress, right? So percentage is equal item progress over conveyor storage dot conveyor item dot max progress. I need to convert one of these to a float. We'll do that one. Okay. So if and basically if that item progress is so basically if progress is if percentage is greater than or equal to 1.0f, then we need to move it to the next conveyor. So that's where things get a little bit more complicated. So block pos next position is going to be equal to get next conveyor pos. If the next pos is not null, so that does conveyor storage dot remove items, sets the progress to 0. Next storage is add the item. What this also needs to do is this needs to do this to items dot for each item dot set position to this dot pos. Would be a good idea, I think. Maybe also set the progress to 0 actually. Item dot set progress 0. Okay. Now, so if the next storage is not null, okay, else we need to decide, like, what do we want to do? I think what we should say here so like we could do this. This is something we could do. I don't know how I want conveyors to work. I don't know if we want to drop the item at the end or if we just want to like stop. Like, do we just stop the item at the end or do we drop it? I think ideally we start by doing transfer type dot item dot push to, and just push it to that position first and foremost. Oh wait, no, this is if the next pos is not null. Oh, okay, in that case... Oh no, that's if the next storage is not null. Okay, I don't know how that would be possible. So it's saying there is another conveyor, but there's no storage there. Is basically what this is saying. I think for now we're just going to ignore that. That shouldn't be even a case statement for now. So, okay, this is if there's no next position. So if there's no next position, then we need to see... Okay, first of all, let's do continue. Actually, this will make this a little bit easier to code rather than going like many levels deep, right? Okay, so in this case, where there is no next position, we want to see, is there a connected block there, right? So if we can do a block pause connected block, and do that, and then if that is not null, then we can try and transfer to that block, right? So we can push to, pass in the level, plus in the pos connected block. Wait, what is that gonna do? Push to. I don't think we need to do this actually. No. What we actually, so what does this do? Oh, this uses block entities anyways. Oh wait, no it doesn't. It can use block entities. Okay, well what we want to do then is we want to insert. So let's get the item lookup. Right? We can do off single slot, that's fine. And then we can do... Wait, no, how do we want to do this? I'm just trying to think, how do we do this? Because we want to look up at that position, right? So we want to find... that's actually not right anyways. I mean, we want the block lookup, not the item lookup. That's why that was being a bit weird. Okay. So we want to find at the level, the connected block position, and then the direction. We do need the direction. So the direction is going to be the direction from our block to that block, right? So does Minecraft have a method to do that? Direction. Get nearest? Yeah, I guess. Well, no, because we want to get... No. We want something that takes in two vectors. Is that not possible? Okay, well, first of all, we want to get the direction between them, right? That's the question. What part of the conveyors are you working on right now? Right now, Wide, we're working on the actual logic for the conveyors. So making the items like move down the conveyors, is what we're doing. Okay, I think basically we just subtract the positions, right? So we have to do A to B, right? So in order to do A to B, we need to subtract A from B. So I'm just trying to think. So vec3i, I think, is what we want, right? This will be the direction. Yeah, basically that's right. And then normalize it. Can we normalize it? Good question. I mean, we don't need to normalize it. Okay, I suppose we won't normalize it. So we can just do direction dots get nearest, and then just do like direction dot north or something, right? Okay, question, do we need to do opposite though? Not sure. So this will be the connected block storage. Okay, so if that's not null, then we want to try and insert, right? So we'll do try transaction equals transaction.open outer. Extracted is equal conveyor storage. Okay, well, we need to actually make a storage for that specific item, right? Which we have. So we have the item. So what we can do is we can do item. We can get the stack bar stack, and then we want to do conveyor storage. Wait, what is conveyor storage? Why is it trying to use? What are you? Like, what actually are you? Okay, not what we're looking for. Okay, I mean, we can use... No, we can't even use that. Okay, well, we can create a single item or a single stack storage, I think it's called. Is equal single stack storage. This has a, there's a way to make this, no? Is it somewhere else? Container slot bar? Really? That's not a thing? Item storage. Oh, maybe it's in item storage. No? How on earth do you make a single stack storage? I mean, we can do a container slot wrapper. But I shouldn't... Well, no, we kind of can't, actually. Maybe I'm looking for single slot storage, actually, now that I think about it. Single variant item storage, maybe? Single variant item storage? Does this have an implementation? No. Am I going crazy, guys? There's a way to do this, I'm pretty sure. And we can do that. We just have to implement the methods, which is get stack and set stack. Fine, you know what? We'll do that then. So we're just gonna go like util or something. I don't know. Let's create a new class and let's just call this a single item stack storage, which implements single stack storage. Actually needs to extend it, I think. Okay, implement those. Let's just have a final item stack. Pass that in. Do that. Make it not final, apparently. And do that. Single item stack storage. Nice. Lovely. That wasn't too hard, was it? So now it needs to insert. Wait, I didn't even need to do that, did I? Oh, no. What else did it need? Max amount, stack.get count, yeah. And transaction. Okay, if inserted is greater than 0. No. We want to know if it's greater than or equal to the stack.get count. Right? Stack.shrink inserted. I can just do conveyor storage.set stack, no? Or no, I can do I can do item dot set stack like that, right? Don't even need that. After all that, didn't even need it. That was a waste of time. Yeah, right. And then else we just do, and we can do transaction.abort, but obviously we don't need to. It's not necessary, but I'm going to do it so just so it's a little more explicit in like what we're trying to do. And then in the else case, so I'm just going to continue here again. In the else case, we just want to drop it, right? So let's do this so that we have that there. And then let's just do... Ooh. So this is the hard part. Now we have to figure out where... I think it's containers. Yeah, drop item stack. There you go. Nice. And then remove item. Okay. Let's close this so we have a little more real estate. Because this is already getting quite complex. So that's if the percentage is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, I think what we should do is we should take this out as a method. All of this. Take that as a method. And move on from there. Connected block storage. Oh, I've done that in the wrong place. I meant to do that there. Right? I think. Yeah, so if... Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, we can take this out as a method. So what we can do is we can have a private boolean, and we can have something like handle ooh, what do we call this? Handle item max progress, I guess. Right, which will... I'm not going to trust this. I don't... It might be right, but I'm not going to trust that it's right. I basically want to take this. Put you in there. Okay, we're going to take in that pause as well. And here we just want to return true. Okay, here we want to return true. And here we want to return true. I guess we're always returning true then, aren't we? Okay, and I guess in that case we can just make it void, right? And we can just return, rather than return true, we can just make it void. That's fine, because then we don't even need to return there. Have you had a nice day? I have, actually. It's been alright. Don't ask me what I've done, I haven't done anything, but I've had a nice day. Okay, now the only problem with this is we're not handling if the next storage is full. So like here, for example, where we get the next storage, we're not dealing with if it's full or not. So we need to know if it's full. So that's kind of the next step. So when we find this storage, we need to see, is this storage full? So if next storage is null and next storage is not full, then we do that, right? Okay. Nice. I think this should work. Grade not equal to container. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. If it is full, we just don't want to do anything. If there's no storage, we don't want to do anything. That's fine. Okay, lovely. So next then, basically want to do this. But we only want to do this if there is not an item at the progress that it would be, right? So if you think about this, we need like, you know what we can do? We actually don't need this either. We can just do if item progress is greater than or equal to conveyor item.max progress, like that. Okay, else we can do int next or int new progress, sure, will be plus equal conveyor storage.speed. No. What we want to do is we want to do get conveyor speed, and that will take in the level on the pause. And then, yeah, and then we need to know if the next item between our current progress and this new progress. So we need to know if there is one between those values, right? So if not, if, how do we do this? If not conveyor storage dot, No, let's do if conveyor storage dot is free between item progress and new progress, then we set it to the new progress, or we just keep it as the current progress. Okay, let's also move this max progress into the conveyor storage itself. So let's do refactor, move members to conveyor storage like that. Just because I think it's suited better there. And okay, let's make this method then. So start progress, end progress. And item progress is equal item.getProgress. If item progress is greater than start progress and item progress is less than or equal to end progress, or the item progress is less than start progress and greater than the end progress, return false. Yeah, that's correct, I think. Unless I'm going crazy, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. Okay, nice. So that checks that. I think that's it, guys. I genuinely think that might be it. Obviously, we have to do next conveyor logic, which is going to be complicated. Well, it's actually not going to be too complicated, hopefully. So the only problem we're going to have with the next conveyor is our structure for like connections isn't in like a graph where it really, or ideally actually I suppose it just needs to be like a list, right? It needs to have an order. I guess that's the point, and currently it doesn't have an order. We can figure out that order as we go along, but obviously that complicates things. I mean, we basically have two options. We A, figure out what the next conveyor is as we go along, or B, store that information. So store the order of the conveyors. The problem with storing the order of the conveyors is the logic for adding a new conveyor or merging networks, more specifically, becomes significantly more complicated. But probably doable, I reckon. I reckon we change this to a list. And we do that. I think it's better in the long run. And like performance-wise as well, like calculating the next conveyor will just be getting the next item in the list compared to searching all cardinal directions, right? Because you'd have to search north, south, east, west, and then you'd also have to search north up, north down, east up, west down, west up, and south down, south up, right? So you'd have to convert, you'd have to search 12 blocks every tick for every item that reaches the end of a conveyor, which wouldn't be that bad. You just could find that, like, see, it wouldn't be that bad. That's the thing. It really wouldn't be that bad. I mean, Minecraft has significantly more expensive checks running constantly. But it's just, if we can store it as a list in the first place, then it's not even a consideration, right? We literally just get the next index. Like, it's beyond trivial at that point. I'm also going to extract this actually to just handle item progress. Also, probably something worth doing here is just doing a math.clamp and clamping this between 0 and conveyor storage on max progress. Is a good idea. Da, 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 da. How do we want to do this, chat? Okay, for now, we'll leave it for a second. Let's do conveyor speed, because that's easier to do. So into conveyor speed, like that. Okay, I'm going to move this down here, and all we're going to do is just get it from the block. So we're going to do gets block is instance of conveyor block, then conveyor block.get speed, level pause, like that, and come in here, level pause. We're just going to return. Well, we yeah, but it's also going to depend on the enabled state as well. What we need to do is we need to say if it's enabled, if it's not enabled, then we want to return 0. Else we can just use the shape. That's fine. Okay. We'll just clean that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this is the next big method, the big boy. So equals personal. I mean, kind of, but like if we wanted to do it this way, this isn't probably how we would do it, because once again, this only checks those 4 directions. It doesn't check the other 8. And also, more importantly, it doesn't check the rotation of that one. It doesn't check the shape, and it doesn't check the rotation, so it doesn't actually know if it's connected. Hello, many Z's. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I think we need to do a list. We need to convert it to a list. That's just the best way to do things. I think it just is. Also, why is my camera so high up again, guys? What are we doing? I'm trying to move it down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, let's convert it to a list, because if it's a list, all we have to do is we have to do int index will be conveyors dot index of pos, right? And then yeah, so we do that, and then all we do conveyors dot get next index. Oh no, what we also need to do before we do that is if index plus 1 is less than conveyors.size, then we do conveyors.get index plus 1, else we return null. We can actually convert this into a ternary statement like that. Okay, lovely. So obviously that's going to error because conveyors is currently a set. So we're going to have to make it a list, and we're going to have to make it a new copy on right array list. so that we have some concurrency, of course. Hopefully that doesn't make it too much of a difference in performance. The only problem with that is, as the name suggests, it does copy the array list when you write to it. Which does obviously have a performance impact. I think it's probably fine, but just something worth pointing out, I would say. Okay, this needs to be extra stream codex.list of, and then we can do block pause dot stream codec like that. And this needs to be extra codex dot. I don't suppose we actually have a block pause. No, we don't, unfortunately. We can do list of though. So we can do list of block. Oh my god, block. Oh my god, block. Oh my god, block. That took way too long. Okay, it's fine. Block pause.codec. There you go. I think it doesn't like that. Oh, because that's just a normal codec. Okay. In that case, we can just do list of like that. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, for the most part, that's going to work. Yeah, the only problem that's going to have, of course, is going to be in here. Add connected blocks. Oh, this is a problem with our connected blocks here. Adjacent blocks, which is what? A set of block pause. Yeah. I think we're gonna get Codex to fix this one, chat. Because yeah, this is gonna be a little bit messy. You know, there's only a couple errors here, but I promise you it's more than a couple in reality. So let's see. Let's boot this boy up. Okay. I just modified conveyor network to use a list of block pause for the conveyors and and a map of block pause, block pause for the connected blocks. Can you fix at conveyor network manager to take this into account, i.e. preserving order of conveyor networks and ensuring that connected blocks are only attached to a single position. Let's see. And then once this is done, I think that is it. We need to do some rendering. So rendering will be the next step, is actually just rendering those items on the conveyors. That should actually be the easiest part, funnily enough. Oh, the other thing, we need to update the local position of the items. So currently, you know, we're setting like the progress of said item on that conveyor, but we're not updating the position. Now that's obviously a bit complicated because that position is going to depend on the shape of the conveyor and, more importantly, the direction. Well, actually, it won't depend on the direction. That won't really matter. But it will depend on the shape. Do you suggest any specific way to learn Java and code? I've been trying with AI but getting many errors. Yeah, AI is not the way to go. I know that seems very ironic since I am literally using AI right now, but it's not a good way to start, is what I'm trying to say. It's fine if you know what you're doing. What I can do for you, though... I can't find it. Ah, there it is. Oh, this isn't gonna... This is not easily gonna go into YouTube chat. Okay, well, my best recommendation for learning Java itself is to use this link, or alternatively, or, well, at the same time, I recommend you join the Together Java Discord server as well. Those are just kind of the best places to get started with Java, is what I would say. Also, if you don't like courses, which some people don't, some people just don't work well with courses, my other recommendation is just make things, just make projects, right? So set out a goal to do something, and you basically force yourself to learn the things required to make that thing, right? So that's a really good way to learn if you don't want to do courses. Something like, I mean, you don't want to start too complicated is the thing. So something like a weather app, for example, is good, but probably not as like your first project. To start, like the first project I recommend people do is make a bank, right? Obviously not a real bank, but like a fake bank. It just has to be in terminal. It doesn't have to use UI or anything. But that kind of thing is very extensible. So like once you've done, you know, a basic bank, you can then say, okay, add loans, right? So make it so the user can request a loan. And then you have to think about how do you actually do that? What is the system required to, you know, request a loan? How does that even work? I think a lot of programming really isn't like, it's not really learning the concepts, right? That's the thing. Like a lot of programming isn't about the concepts, it isn't about the language, it isn't about any of those shenanigans. It's about the logic. It really is just the logic, right? If you don't understand how to think about things from end to end, right? Then you just won't be able to program. I mean, it's as simple as that. So you need to learn how to do that more than you actually need to learn the language itself or concepts in the language. So they're important, of course, needless to say, but they're not the crux of programming. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. Practice is big, like very important. It is literally like learning a language. If you don't use it, you won't remember it, right? So like you've got to use it, you know. Like I was learning C++ a while ago, but I haven't used it since. So to be honest, I don't remember it. Obviously, if I come back to it, I could probably pick it up quicker than if I hadn't learned it before. So don't get me wrong, it's not like it's not useful, but consistency is important. You do need to make sure you're actually using it, is what I will say. So, you know, try and do like, my recommendation, if you're just starting out, try and do an hour a day. Anything less than that, you're probably not going to actually be able to learn anything in that time frame. I also wouldn't recommend you start out doing like 5 hours a day either. Because I think that would just be too much. It's just, you're not gonna, once again, I mean, you're just not gonna retain anything if you do it for that long. So, you know, as great as it sounds to say, oh, I did 5 hours, you're not gonna retain anything you did in those 5 hours. You probably retained maybe the first hour, and then after that, it's just gonna be like, I did it, but yeah, I don't remember what I did. You know? So you have to consider that. That is something very much worth considering. Okay, I think we're almost done here, though. Which was pretty much perfect timing there. Let's see. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Whatever. Okay. Codex? Can you wakey wakey, please? I think it's gone to sleep, chat. I think it's past Codex's bedtime. Oh, no. Hello. I did not expect it to do that. Sure? Is that right? I suppose so. Oh, it's just removed the server level. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because that wasn't needed. That was old from the pipe system. Because I think heat pipes needed that, I think, is why that's there. Or maybe it just existed in the context and I decided, well, add it as a parameter, I'm not sure. Either way, it's done, so I don't know why it's still faffing. Can we just, you know, spit out? Oh, it's not done. What's it doing now? For conveyor network, do I get to remove conveyor? Okay. Sure, I guess. And one final save for you. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason it's doing this. I'm not particularly familiar with these exact lines of code. 240, let's have a look. We're looking here, basically. So, what condition is this? This is when a conveyor is removed. So we remove the network, and then we go through the conveyors, and we call remove conveyor. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, you done spitting that out? I think so. So I think let's try rendering. I think. We do still have methods like this. We're gonna keep them in for now. What is this doing? Oh god. Okay, this is what it's added. Count adjacent conveyors. Wait. Okay, 1 second. I need to ask it how it's handling the order. How are you deciding on the order of the conveyors? Oh, you guys can't see. 1 second. Because I don't think it's doing the right order. Got a hair in my mouth. Get out of here. Oh, hello, phone. Let me just put my phone on silent. Set by reorder conveyors. Treats conveyors as a graph adjacent in third order. Third index, then. Okay, so it's not based on block facing flow. Okay. Right. It does need to be though. I think the problem we're gonna face here is that the conveyor block itself, because the placement isn't correct, it's not going to be able to use that to therefore determine what the next conveyor is. Because it can't rely on that shape, I suppose. It needs to use the shape and facing. This has to be taken into account. Because otherwise that's not going to work, right? Because imagine you had two conveyors next to each other. One's going straight and one's coming like at it like this, right? You don't want those to be connected, right? Because this isn't going into this conveyor. It's just facing that conveyor, right? So any items on that conveyor should stop when it reaches this forwards conveyor. So like it's very important that that shape is taken into account, because if it's not, then that's not going to work. Same with the facing, because obviously you don't want like a conveyor facing this way and a conveyor facing this way. You don't want the items to like try and cross into each other. Like that doesn't make sense. Once they reach the end, they should just stop, right? Yeah, let's see if it can do it, because this might be a big ask of it. I'm not convinced, but let's see. It's come up with something very quickly there, so that suggests to me that probably isn't going to work. I do just need to import that. Probably shouldn't have done that, because now it's going to get a bit lost. Maybe. Yeah, actually it's fine. There is this warning here as well. Okay, if it doesn't fix that, then I'm gonna just let it know that, like, hey, it says this warning, and it should probably figure out why. Hello, Christoph. Welcome to the stream. I assume it's seen the warning here. From... Oh, no. Does Compile Java give you warnings? Don't think it does, right? It gives you, deprecated API warnings, but I don't think it gives you all warnings. I could be wrong. No, it doesn't. Let's take this. In fact, I can do, no. I can do this. And then let's just say, like, hey. Okay, let's see. I imagine this isn't easy. What does it say? Okay, it's just removed it. Fair enough, I guess. If that's what it needs. Okay, let's do rendering then, guys. So this, I don't know how this is going to go. Let me just build the product. I think it does compile, because it has just done a compile, but just want to check that, like, we don't have any weird errors anywhere. So add connected blocks, we need to do that at some point. So I think we'll leave it for now, and that's fine. We'll just ignore it, but we do need to come back and deal with that. Okay, so let's go into the client here. Hello, Spider-Man. Welcome to the stream. I am doing good today. Things are going well thus far. Pipe network world around us. Yeah, basically this is what we want, right? So So this is an industrial world renderer. Okay, that's fine. Where are you used? In here. Okay. So basically gonna add another one. So we're gonna do var conveyor network world or level renderer is equal to a new conveyor network level renderer. And I'm gonna copy the pipe one. It's gonna be level renderer. And this is gonna be a level renderer. That's fine. No, that's fine. Please, I promise, that's fine. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, I see. I see what it's done. Okay, that confused me a little bit there. Conveyor network level renderer is what we want. And then this can become a level renderer. And then we select these. Okay. Refactor. Okay, that's fine. Get color doesn't need to exist. Simply. Nice and simple. Okay. These I can also rename real quick. I know they're kind of unrelated to conveyors, but like, since we're here, we might as well do them, right? So, level. Okay. And yeah, lovely. So let's close other tabs. Okay. We don't care about debug rendering because this isn't a debug renderer. This is a real renderer. Thoughts about Linux? I don't really have any, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really have any. Let's get rid of that. Let's do... oh. Okay, this is true. So we do need to basically copy this and add it. So where are you? The Industria data. Okay, so this needs to be client conveyor networks, because our current conveyor system basically is not what am I trying to say? It's server side only, so not gonna work. Conveyor. Oh wait, what do we want? We want just trying to think. What do we want here? We want a conveyor network manager. Okay, and this will be the conveyor networks like that. This will be sync conveyor network payload manager. That's actually not even a thing, so for now I'm just going to comment that one out. This will be add conveyor network payload. This will be level. This will just not exist. This will be conveyor network. This is going to get the conveyor network manager. Conveyor network. Let's just call it network manager. Yeah, it's fine. This is going to be conveyor network manager. Oh, that's just... Oh, right. Okay, right. We don't need that. This can just be... This needs to be a set of conveyor network. Let's rename this to manager, I guess. Okay. Might as well change these, I suppose. Just get rid of them under the hood at least. So this will be Conveyor to network ID. This will be the Conveyor network manager. Which will be get of world key. Remove if transfer type. No. I guess the type. That gets the manager. We want to get conveyor to network ID. Put all conveyor. Manager.add. Don't need to do that. Okay. And then basically the exact same thing here, but just remove if the ID is equal, right? So I'm basically going to take this. We do also need the UUID network ID though, so UUID network ID. Get this. Oh no, that's fine. This is just the wrong remove. Okay. Networks.remove if network.get ID equals network ID. Nice and simple. And then this is modify. So this will be modify conveyor network payload. Like that. This will be the level key. Okay, same here as well. Level key and level key. Lovely. Okay, get rid of you because you're not cared about. This will be the conveyor network manager. Don't know why you've done that. Okay. Manager is equal null, return, that's fine. That just gets the manager. Set of network, so this will be set of conveyor network. This will be an optional conveyor network. This will be conveyor network. Oh, it can just be network, right? I think, yeah. And then this will be add conveyor. Add conveyor. This will be remove conveyor. Remove conveyor. Add connected block. Ooh. I have to come back to those two. Defaults, pro, new, unsupported operation exception. Operation is not supported yet. That's fine. That's not going to affect our rendering or anything because we're not actually going to use that anyways. We don't have connected blocks yet, so that's fine. Let's just check in here. Nothing says world still. That's fine, and nothing says pipe still. That's fine. Okay. We're going to leave this one for the moment as well. Okay. You also can be an underscore. So can you. So can you. And so can you. Okay, you also can be underscores. Because you're just not being used. Okay. That's okay. So now we just need to make sure this class is used, of course. So client pipe networks in it. So this will just become client conveyor networks in it. Nice. Okay. Have to come back and clean this one up at some point as well. But for now, that's okay. So this will be client conveyor networks. Wait. Wait, I'm a little bit confused. One second. Did I not already start doing that? No? I must have imagined it. Okay. Fair enough. So this will get us the manager. So this will be .var, which will be the network manager. And I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to rename this to just manager so that it fixes our issues. And then this will just be the conveyor network. This will be the so for network, oops, dot get. I think I want to get the storage. So we'll do storage, and then we'll do storage dot get storages dot entry set, and then this can be a map dot entry of a block pos, comma, conveyor storage. Conveyor storage, and this will be the network storage. This will just be the storage like that. Or this will be this will be the storage entry, because we're gonna also need to have a storage inside of here. So that will be entry dot get value, which will be the conveyor storage like that. And then we're also going to need the block pos position. Okay, let's get rid of that. So Minecraft client, Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this for every pipe in the old one, but that's certainly something we don't want. So we can just do this. There we go. And this will be of pos. If that's not, so if not conveyor, if not network, I think, is conveyor pos, world pos. That is a thing, no? Oh, is it manager? Make public. There we go. World, by the way. What is world? World is a client level. Okay. So it needs to be level. What does this take? A server level. Okay, well it doesn't need to take a server level. It can just take in a level. That's fine. Okay, so this, by the way, can be storage pos or conveyor pos, to be more specific about what that's for. This block doesn't need to exist. Okay, now we want to keep some things here, so we want to do conveyor pos.get center, camera, And then this is the stuff we want, right? So we can get rid of this. And this is where we're basically going to go ahead and do our rendering. So, this is going to be the interesting part. So, So I was actually kind of thinking about this last night, funnily enough. So I think how this needs to work, right, is each conveyor is going to need to have a set of positions. Now, I think these should be pre-calculated positions. Basically, we have 100 positions, right? Or... Wait, 1 second. What does the... Let me look at the conveyor block again. And then we can get, like, a... Okay, so I was thinking like 5, right? So basically what that would mean is for each conveyor, we have 20 positions on that conveyor because the max is 100, so 100 divided by 5 is 20. Though for up and down, I've done 2. Because basically saying 5 would mean that basically it takes 1 second for an item to go from one end of the conveyor to the other, right? That's what that means, because 100 divided by 5 is 20, so that means that's 20 ticks, so that's 1 second. So 2 would actually be not correct. We actually want that to be 10. Basically meaning that that would then... Wait, no we don't. Do we? No we don't. I'm wrong. I'm thinking about this wrong. So 2 would mean it basically takes 50 ticks, right? So, like, what's that? That's 1.5 seconds to go up or down a conveyor. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Wait, no, that can't be right. No, 2.5 seconds. What am I on about, bro? I can't do math. 2.5 seconds. So I think that's the best way to do this. Now the question is, like, how do we actually get those positions on the conveyor? And that I'm not sure. So I actually, interestingly enough, I thought about maybe using the model to do this, right? Using the actual conveyor model. So I was thinking in that model, I would maybe have 20 cubes that would be like floating in the air, and it would basically use those as anchor points. Because that just means it's so much more dynamic, right? I don't have to then like manually have a bunch of numbers in here or whatever. Only problem with that is I suppose it wouldn't be too hard. I'm not sure. I'm like not sure how to convert from that local space into global space. I think would be the tricky part. I suppose it actually wouldn't, because they would be root level, right? So they would be like root level groups. Okay, this might work actually. The only problem this is gonna have is that the position of the item is gonna need to change. Well, I guess we can actually just remove the local position at that point, couldn't we? Right, we don't need to store the local position inside of the item, because basically that could be handled purely client side. So there wouldn't need to be that extra logic on the server. The server wouldn't need to handle, physically moving something that it's not even rendering, right? I think that's actually a good idea. I don't know why I did it this way originally. But yes, I think local pos should just go. I think that was a more intuitive way to do it. But I don't think that was actually the best way to have it. Also, what the hell is this, IntelliJ? What are we doing right now? This! This is horrific. Oh my god. This is actually disgusting. What the fuck is IntelliJ doing? Oh no. Why is it complaining? Oh, that's why. Okay, I don't know what the hell IntelliJ is doing right now. This is so bad. Anyways, yes, I think that's the best way to do this. And then that means this can be purely client-side, right? So that's so much better. And that means we can then derive those positions from a model, right? If it was server-side, we wouldn't be able to do that because we can't load a model on the server. That's just not possible. We'd have to rely on the client sending that over to the server, and then the server trusting the client. It's just not worth doing. So yes, this is the best way to do this, I believe. Doesn't mean it's easy though. Unfortunately. Okay. I'm just trying to think, how do we want to do this? Okay, I think the best way to do this is to have a list. So let's have a private static list of vec3d or vector 3d, which will be calculate item positions. And what this will take in is this will take in a model part, model, or just a model, I guess, right? Which I think is generic. Yeah. Okay, so that takes in a model, and then what it's gonna do is gonna do model dot all parts, and we're gonna stream and filter to parts dot name. Let's call this item anchors. Part dot name. Does part not have a name? Interesting. Do we have a way to get them by name? So we can get a part by a name. Right, get child part by string name. But do we not have just a map of... We don't. Interesting. Okay. Wait, how does that method work then? Is that in here? Get child part of string name. Implemented via mixin. Okay, can we see the mixin that's implemented in? Model mixin. Get child part. This is child part map. Okay. So can we get that child? I don't think we're going to be able to get this, chat. How are we going to get this? Model part accessor. Okay. I think we can do this then. I think basically we can replicate this ourselves, right? So let's have some kind of like private static final map of model to a what am I doing right now? To list to a map of string comma model part. Is that right? Yes. Which will be equal to a new object to object open hash map. Okay. Model part cache is equal to a new object to object open hash map. Okay. So let's do model.root, right? And then call for each we can do let's do a map of string comma model parts is equal to a new object to object hash map. And then we can do parts, put if absent, like that. Okay, obviously these are meant to be internal, right? But, I mean, it's fine. So we can have a private static map of string, comma, model parts. Return parts like that. Okay, so then we can get our map. We can filter that item.getKey.starts with item anchor, or we can just do anchor, right? And then map it to the value, so that gets us the actual. Well, no, we don't want to map it to the value. We want to sort it, and we want to strip away the anchor. So let's do entry, string name, and then pass that as an integer. Actually, I'm going to have an exception here and say industria.logger.warn. Yeah, sure, that'll do. Like that. And then turn that into a list. It doesn't like this. Expected to, but found 1. Oh, right, because this needs to be... Oh, right. Entry 1, entry 2. Okay, I see. Let's do substring anchor.length. Substring anchor.length. Okay, let's do try. We'll just do each one, right? So we'll say int index 1, index 2, index 1 is equal that. Exception. Industria.logger.warn. Okay, sure, we can do, excuse me? There we go. And then do the same thing here. And then compare them. And then it doesn't like that because that's a list of entry to a string of model part. List of... Right, because we don't want to stop there. So after we've done that, we want to map it to the position. Part.x divided by 16. Is that right? Don't we want to times by 16? I'm not sure, actually. I'm also not sure, like, is that X position, like, what part of that is the X position? I presume it's not the center. Maybe it is, though. Okay, I'm not sure. To do... X comma Y comma Z may not be the center of part. Let's put to do check if XYZ is the center of the part. Don't think it is. I have a feeling it's not. I mean, like, if I remove this, yeah, it still tries to do that, so makes me think, well, not sure. Unsure. Okay, so that gets us our positions, right? Because we sort them, then we map them. Nice. Okay. Might want to maybe... See, here I just kind of maybe want to clean up this sorting algorithm a little bit. I don't know. Do we want to? I'm just thinking maybe we want to convert this string, right? Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. So I'm going to map the string. So I'm going to take the entry. And then I'm going to do entry.getKey. No, I'm going to do map.entry. Entry.getKey.substring. Entry.getValue, like that. And then basically that just means we can do this. And then we can also do this as well. So we could map entry. Oops, I fucked it up a little bit there. It doesn't like that. Not like that. String name. Okay. Okay, well in this case, I guess we can just return null, right? But what I want to do here is basically this. So I want to try and map it so that that key is an integer. So int index like that. I guess we can actually just return entry dot map dot entry of that entry dot get value. This will be name. And this will just return null. And then all we need to do is just filter by objects non-null, I believe. Yes, like that. And that means that the sorting here, we can just do this, basically. So entry1.get key, entry2.get key, which I think that is just a sort by keys or something, right? Yeah, like that. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so that's much, much neater now. Okay. I mean, it's a little less performant, but it's neater. It's easier to read and stuff. So, I'm happy to do that. Let's just suppress warnings. I think it's unstable API usage. Yeah. Nice. So that just gets rid of those warnings, which we don't care about. They're not a problem. Humans is equal null is always false. Is that true? Possibly. I think so. Oh, I don't know where the music's gone, guys. Oh, it's coming back. Nice. Okay. Can this be null? It doesn't say. It reckons it can't be though. So I'm gonna trust it. Okay, and it's not complaining about those, so those are obviously fine. Consumers isn't used, but I am thinking we probably want the submit node collector rather than the buffer source, right? Because with that, that's how we queue things, right? We submit. Yeah, okay. So we actually want a submit node collector, which will be the node collector, like that. And that's what we'll use to actually go ahead and render it. I don't think we want to scale at all. And I don't think we want to do that either. So let's do conveyor storage dot get items dot for conveyor item, and then do item stack is equal dot get stack, and then we're going to do float progress is equal conveyor item dot get progress over float of conveyor storage dot max progress, like that. Okay, and then so I'm just thinking, we do the conveyor pause here. We do need to get the block state though. So block state, we'll get the block state like that. And then model like that. Okay, we still need to figure that out, but we'll come back to that. Right, yeah, the model. Okay, I was gonna say we'll come back to that, but we kind of can't because we need to do it now. So we have to have a way to get a model from a block state is the only problem. I think the best way to do that is to get the model, I was going to say from a block, but we can't do that either. Hmm. I guess we can. We just have to have some kind of like registry for it, right? So we have to have some kind of like what do we even do here? Okay, well, first of all, we're going to want a private static final map of block state to a list of those, which is going to be... can we have an object to list? No. Okay. Object to collection? No. Okay. That's fine then. So that way we cache for the item anchors, but more so what I was thinking is that we have a private static final map of block to a consumer of, or no, a map of a block to, I guess, just one of these, right? Either that, or we have a function of a block state to a list of vector 3D. Yeah, because then it takes in the block state. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So this will be the anchor providers. Yes, that's a good name, actually. That was not what I was going to come up with, so I'll take that. We're going to have a public static register anchor provider, like that. Okay. So that actually does a list. No, that's not what we want. We want a... We want a list of model. Actually. Yeah. We'll have state to a model. That's fine. Is that fine? Yeah. And then we'll use that to calculate the anchors. Okay. So what we can do then in here is we can grab... So we have a state to a list of vector 3D. Okay, so that's fine. So then we have the state here. So what we do is we grab the list of vector 3D. If it contains the state, then we do that. Else, does not contain block, no anchor provider registered. Else we get the model, calculate the item anchors. Okay. So this means it wouldn't happen on runtime, though. Which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I don't want it to happen, I don't want it to happen, like, when the game is running. Like, whilst you're rendering, it shouldn't be calculating this. I want it to be pre-calculated. That's kind of the entire point, right? And granted, yes, it means it would be calculated for that state only. But the problem is it's going to call... And it won't be too expensive, but it is going to be a little bit expensive. Just trying to think. Uh, mm. So, okay. What if we... Yeah, that's what we'll do, actually. Okay, what we'll do then is we will register the providers, right? So we'll register the anchor providers. And then once those are all registered, we'll have like a point at which we say, okay, after this point, any more that are registered, it's like whatever, right? You do that, but that's not going to help you. In fact, you know what? No, even better. We do it in here. Wait, do we want to do it in here? Just trying to think. Where's the block function? Okay, no, this is fine. So what we'll do is in here, once you call that register method, we're then going to take the block, right? And we're going to get all of the states. So we can do that, right? We can get that from the definition, I believe, right? So that gets the possible states. And then we'll go through all of those states. We'll take the model, we'll calculate the item anchors, and then we'll put them in the cache. Right? So that means as soon as it's registered, that will happen. The only problem... So, okay, there's actually a pretty big problem with this, though. And that problem is the models most likely will not be loaded at the time this happens. So we're going to need to make this a resource reloader. And then actually run this on resource reload. So I'm going to have a private static void load anchor cache. And then that'll just do this. So that will go it'll go item we'll go anchor providers. Got 4 each. Like that. We'll do this will be the provider. Like that. Okay. Are you still on the rendering? Yes, still on the rendering. Trying to make it optimized. Okay, so we're going to want to do this on resource reload. That means we have to learn about resource reloading. So we do already have a resource reloader. It's what is it for? That's a lovely question. Reload. Can I find that? Resource? Ooh, there's gonna be a lot of things called resource though. I'm just looking at the classes they're in. That should give me an idea of what I'm looking for. Extra codex, no. Yeah, really? That's it? It can't be right. Unless I'm missing one. I definitely have a resource reloader somewhere. I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go and search for one then. So okay. So we're gonna have to figure out how we do those in Fabric then. I think there's like a resource reload. This? Is it this? No. Maybe it's just Minecraft dot get instance dot resource manager dot. No, there's a there is something though. It's something like this. Resource reload. Resource listener? Resource manager reload listener. Variable reload listener. Implementations. Okay. Yeah, what about you? Level renderer? Okay. But how do I use you? Wait, and then run async on resource manager reload. Okay, so that calls the on resource manager reload. Right. So what does this call? That's not helpful. Okay, what does... Fine, what does this call? Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh, that's the reload function. I see. Okay. Okay, I see. So this can then also implement that. And then we'll implement that reload method. And that will basically clear the cache and reload the anchors like that. Now, I think we need to, like, register that somewhere. I don't know where, though. So, can we find out where? Interesting. Use resource reload directly. Yeah, that's what it says to do. Deprecated. Use resource loader dot register reload listener. Aha. Resource loader dot register reload listener. Resource loader dot register. Clearly doesn't exist. Okay, I need an instance of this. I see. How the fuck do I get that then? Resource manager helper? Resource manager helper? That's deprecated though. Okay, I know what we can do actually. Resource loader. And then let's just find usages of this. Resource manager helper import. Not helpful. Resource loader. Oh. Okay. I see. Resource loader.get hack type.client resources .register resource reload listener. And then this will take in the ID, so industria.id, which will be the client conveyor networks and preparable reload listener, which I think is actually all we need anyways. I think, yeah, not you. Don't need you anymore. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Come back to you. Preparable reload listener. No, maybe not actually. Okay, that's fine. So we do need that though. We need that class. Okay, I guess we can have a subclass, right? Public static reload listener. Public static class reload listener. Right, like that. Get rid of that there. Come up here. Get rid of that. Go to you. There's some errors here. We'll come back to those in a second. And then I can do conveyor conveyor network level renderer dot reload listener dot new. Well, actually, I guess we don't have to make a new one. We can just do an instance, right? Yeah, like that, basically. Dot instance. Okay. Like that. Now, obviously, I don't want this in here. So what we're going to have is a reload listener in it. Public static void init. Like that. Boom. Client resource loader. Like that. Let's also do that so that's a bit cleaner. Okay, and then we can do somewhere. I don't think it really matters. Resource listener. What did I call it? Oh, reload listener. Reload listener init. Nice. Okay. So that's done. What's the error here? Block.registry name. I think it's just name, right? Maybe not. I guess I can just do toString like that. Well, yeah, I don't need to actually put toString, do I? I always forget about that. So I guess the item anchors. Item anchors is empty, then anchor offset is 0, 0, 0. Else we get that. Okay, and then we can just basically render it at that position, right? So then we can do matrices.push, translate, and render, and then matrices dot pop to do render, and then pop. And that should work. In theory. Hopefully. Okay, so here's where we actually do the rendering, of course. So at this point, I guess we just do node collector. But I think we can just submit item, right? Matrices. Yeah, this is actually a pose stack now. Just fix that. There you go. Then item display context dot fixed. Then light chords. I don't suppose we have that, do we? Context dots. No. So we're going to have to calculate that for the specific position. So we do have that, of course. So once we figure out the position, we're going to do int light overlay is equal level dot get light emission from pos. We have pos, no? Conveyor pos, there you go. Or light chords, I guess it's called. Light chords. Okay, and then overlay chords is just going to be overlay. Isn't it just overlay texture dot no overlay? Yeah. Then it wants outline color. Really? I don't remember it needing all of these. Does seem to, unfortunately. Interesting. So outline color 0, I guess, or -1. Then it wants tints layers. You int array 0, I guess. How the fuck do we get the quads? Why do we need the quads? This can't be right. Wait, yeah, we're not even passing in the actual item stack. This is ridiculous. This isn't right. Okay, but where are you used? So this is items like layer render state. Submit. I don't think we need all this, right? I think so. This dot quads. What's this dot quads set to? Oh, I think it's just a new array list. I think. Am I crazy, or is it just an empty array list? I don't think it's actually anything. Prepare quad list just returns this dot quad list. It doesn't do anything. Okay, well in that case, wait, but that doesn't make sense, because then how does it know what item it needs to render? That can't be right. I think... So... I'm not sure, guys, actually. But I'm a little bit confused, because the quads is literally just a new array list. Like, it's not doing it. Like, it's never set to anything. I don't understand how that's possible. Submit, let's submit. Render states. Okay, where are you used? Is a good question. And so that's used in there, of course. Block model wrapper. So that's output, not new layer. Output is what? Output is an item stack render state. Okay. Missing item model. Interesting. Okay, so in that case, where is item stack render state used? I mean, actually, can we just do... Wait, actually, can we use gizmos for this? Gizmo collect... Gizmo... No, it's Gizmo... Instance, I think? No, Gizmo... Something. How do you do gizmos? Gizmos? Ah, it doesn't have items. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna have a quick look on the Fabric Discord for item stack render state. See if anyone has mentioned anything about that. Okay, apparently you need the quads. So you don't need an item stack render state, you need the quads. Question is, how do you get the quads? I don't know, because I can't find where vanilla gets the quads. Like, where the hell does... Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Like, there's nothing here that references... So it's got quads not clear. Prepare quad list just returns this not quads. Okay. Set up special model, set up tint layers, prepare tint layers. Where are you used? Oh, that returns the quads. Aha. So it adds this dot quads. So let's try and find where the quads are loaded in here then. We'll bake quad in quads. Oh, that's block models though. I don't think that's going to be helpful. Because that does geometry.get all. So it's unbaked, which is a resolved model. So, I mean, maybe from the model bakery then. Right? So can we get the model bakery? Level renderer? Model? No. What about game renderer? Model? No. I mean, there's item in hand renderer. That does render item. What does this do, I wonder, to get the quads? Item model resolver. Oh, that creates a new item render state. Interesting. And that calls item model resolver dot update for top item. Interesting. So what is an item model resolver? And where do we get that? From the entity render dispatcher? Okay, well where does this get it from? Just an item model resolver. Aha! We can get that from Minecraft. Okay. I'm figuring things out here. So we can do Minecraft.getInstance.bar. Oh, we already have Minecraft, never mind. So we can do Minecraft. Wait, do we not? I thought we had that. Oh, we don't. I see. Okay, I see. So let's file that then. All two occurrences. So we get this, which is Minecraft. Right. Then let's do item model resolver. Model resolver. We'll get the item model resolver like that. Oh, that was just called client. I see. Well, we can just do Minecraft.level. That's fine. Okay. So once we have that, then we can do item. So we can do model resolver dot update for top item. So we can create a new item state. So var item state is equal a new item stack render state. And then we can update for top item. We can pass in the item state. We can pass in the stack. We can pass in the item display context. We can pass in the level. The item owner will be null. And then the seed will be 0. I don't think that matters. And then submit item. No. So here is where we do item state dot render or something, right? Is that right? Item. Yeah, dot submit. Okay. So we do this dot submit. We pass in the pose stack. Then we pass in the node collector, the light chords, overlay texture, dot no overlay, and outline color, -1. And in theory, that should render our item. Hypothetically, of course. I was just going to create a method to do that. Private static void render item. Okay. Like that. And then we can just get rid of that there. Because that just doesn't need to exist at that point. And nice. Okay. It does probably want the level though. I guess we can do Minecraft dot level, right? I don't think the seed. I don't know what the seed does. I can't lie. It does seem to be like passed down, but I don't know. Implementations maybe, like just composite model. What does seed do? Model to update seed. Oh, I see. Composite model was not what we wanted. This one, seed. Okay, that just also calls model to update. But really, special model wrapper seed isn't used. I don't think it's used most of the time, by the looks of it, but okay. Let's close some of these. I think we are ready to test it. We just need to actually create the models necessary. Now I will say I would actually agree this can be extracted. So I'm going to extract method. This will be render conveyor item. Like that. Okay. Like cause.get conveyor pause. Conveyor pause is storage entry.get key. Yeah, that's fine. No, this is for each conveyor item. In the storage. Right. Right, but the storage is at a specific position. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's taken a little, a hot minute here, huh? Right, so this can just be level.dimension. That doesn't need to be any weird shenanigans. What's the other thing it's complaining about? Context.gameRenderer. That's fine. Let's suppress warnings. I don't know what try with resource. Oh, it's resource. No, what is it? It's resource. I don't know. We can just do it through here though. Suppress for method. Oh, it's just resource. It's just lowercase, that's all. Okay, that's fine then. Alright, we do have one unused thing, which is our anchor provider. So we need to go ahead and sort that out. So let's do... let's go into init. Let's create a new class, conveyor anchor provider init. Okay, and then let's go public static void init. Okay. And then let's do register anchor provider. We're going to go block init dot conveyor. And then we need a way to get the model. Now this may be problematic. So we'll do block state like that. And then we need to figure out a way to get the model. Minecraft.get instance. So this will get us Minecraft, right? Now we have to load a model here. So we can get the model manager. And then we can load. I don't know if we can load it like a specific model. We can get item model. Probably want to use entity models, I suppose, don't we? Yeah. Actually, no, what am I on about? We're not loading them from resources. We're loading a Java model, right? So the model we need to load, we're basically just going to be able to do a new, XYZ model, right? So that will be fine. So let's do, so that's the block state, right? Let's just for now return null so that we can go ahead and call this in. And let's also quickly just do private. I don't think I do that in most of them. But we'll do that, and then we'll just do the same here. Don't remember if I do this or not, but I feel like for consistency, even if it's not consistent, which it's not at all, actually, I'm just going to do that anyways. I need to start doing that in the other ones. Okay, so we'll do init there as well. Okay, so yeah, we just return our new model class here. Okay, so let's hop into the block bench. And yeah, one thing to mention, we are going to need to do things depending on the state here. So this is actually going to be more complex than just returning a new model. Just worth pointing that out. So let's open... I'm just going to open Blockbench itself real quick. Okay. So this right here is the model for the turn conveyor, right? So what I can do is I can just copy these, and then we can create a new modded entity. Let's do... I'm actually going to do Moj maps. Wait, am I? Yeah. We're going to do Forge 1.17 plus Moj maps, which is going to sound strange, but I think that makes the most sense because yeah, that makes the most sense. Just trust me. Because we are using Mojang mappings, right? Even though we're using Fabric, we're using Mojang mappings. So yeah. Okay, so this isn't it isn't facing the right way though, is it? Okay, so it needs to be like that. I see. So where do items come in at? I guess they come in at the west. So I mean, this is going to be kind of hard to do, to be honest. But okay, so this will be the route, and then we'll add a cube. And basically, the first item will just be there, right? And then we will... So, only problem is this actually needs to be a group of itself, right? And then this will need to be renamed to anchor 0. Does it need to be anchor 0 or anchor 1, actually? That is a wonderful question. I don't know. How do we code it again? We just sort them. Okay, so it can actually be like -5 million, and it would be fine. Okay, that's fine. So let's duplicate this. And then we'll just say the next one is there. Duplicate again. We'll say next one's there. Duplicate again. Next one's there. This is going to seem silly, but it does make sense. Duplicate again. Next one is going to be there. Duplicate again. Next one's going to be there. Duplicate again. Next one's going to be there. Duplicate again. Next one's going to be there. Next one is going to be there, I think. Duplicate again. Did you ever do that custom physics system? Yes. Well, I didn't. Basti did. So, yes, kind of. So that's one away. Wait, I'm looking at this. Is this right? Yeah, so that's 2 away, 2 away. Okay, so then I need to go again that way. And then there. Is that right? So we got 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay. And then we go 1 there. And then we go 1 there. And then 1 more, which will be there. right? So basically that'll be the path the items take. I have actually done it slightly wrong though, because yeah, I've done it slightly wrong. Because I need to have another one here, I think. Right? I think if I put like one there. Yeah. So unfortunately that actually becomes quite complicated because I can't do that. Like if I try to rename this to Anchor 4, it will change it to 16. So what I will have to do is I will have to rename this one to 16, rename this one to 15, rename this one to 14, and this one to 13, and we'll just have to go up like this. A little bit annoying, but I mean there isn't much I can do about that, I feel like. Just need to be more careful, really. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then this is Anchor 4, like that. And then 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, I guess I could have just pushed this one back to -1. That's kind of silly though, isn't it? So we're not going to do that. Okay, so now what we can do is we can just yeet these. Are you using the system for this? No. We're not going to use the system for this. I just don't see the point in doing that. There just isn't any need. Okay, we're going to save this as a Java class. I'm going to bring this across because I don't know what's going to come up. So let's go programming, Java, Minecraft, Industria. Let's go source, client, Java, dev, 3030. Oh, I saved it in Industria. So I think I saved it in 3030. Let's also save the project file as well real quick. I don't know where I saved the BB models. Oh, there, okay. Conveyor, corner, turn, anchor, positions. Okay. We'll probably open that back up in a second, but for now, this just needs to go into... Well, we need to rename this first of all to corner, turn, conveyor, anchor, positions. And let's put those in model. Let's do new package, conveyor. Okay, now we just need to fix everything that's broken in here. So for example, this needs to extend model. That still needs a thing. That can just be void, I think. This needs to be identifier dot of. No, not identifier. Industria dot ID, and that would just be the name of the model, basically. So we'll do corner, turn, conveyor, anchor, positions, and then the layer is main. That's fine. You guys don't need to exist. You're complaining because you need to super root. You also need a render type. So render, what is it? Render layers or something? What are they even called now? Render types. Entity. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because we're not going to be rendering this, right? So that's fine. You don't need to exist. You don't need to exist. Okay. We're gonna fix all in file. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then all we need to do, rename this to create main layer. I wonder if I can... No, I can't, can I? Okay. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, I think... I don't know if I need to register those or not. I have a feeling I do. So we will do that real quick. So we'll do model layer registry, register model layer. Because I think to create the actual model itself, we have to do this, unfortunately. Which is a bit annoying, but did I not copy the name of that class? Okay, whatever. Nice. These are called get texture model data because that's the old name in what all of these were. Okay. Oh well. I'll have to come back to that at some point and fix that. Okay. Now, only problem I have realized is we don't have a way to like rotate the model. Right? Because the problem is the model needs to be rotated for like different ones. I don't want to obviously have to create a different model file per one. Either way, we can start by return switch on. Oh no, we can't. Okay, let's do. Yeah, for now, let's return switch on block state dot get what am I looking for? Conveyor block. Oops. Dots. I actually don't think they're public. Well, they are public. Okay. Conveyor block dot shape then. Okay, I don't know why it's being weird. It's saying that's an object. It's clearly not an object though, so I don't know why it's doing that. So case. Okay, why is it doing this? This is really quite annoying now. I'm gonna bring this to my other monitor so I can see the different conditions. So straight, we're gonna do. Let's do straight, up, down, turn left, turn right, turn left. We'll do these two for now. And then these will just be null. And then case, turn left and turn right will be So we're gonna need Minecraft. Minecraft is equal Minecraft.get instance, and then we're gonna need to do Minecraft dot get the entity models, I believe. And we're going to need to use that to bake the layer. So a new conveyor turn, and then we'll do get entity models dot bake layer, and then we'll pass in corner dot layer location like that. Now I think I need to do entity models like that. And do that. Now I don't know why this is still complaining. Why is it saying it's an object though? What am I doing wrong right now? Block state. Why is it saying it's an object? Do I need to? I don't need to put it in parentheses, do I? I mean, I can do like directly block state. Block state, maybe? What does it get? Value? But it doesn't like that. What the hell is going on here? Function? Okay, wait. V is what it returns, right? Wait, no, I've done it the wrong way around, haven't I? I think. Is that why? Am I... Now it's making me second guess myself. I think this is right. No? Chat, what am I doing wrong? Does anyone know what I'm doing wrong right now? I feel like I'm going crazy. Why does it... Why... It's an object. Is it because of this? Is this not a block? It is a block though, right? Yeah. It's a conveyor block, sure, but it's still a block. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I can try cast it to a block and see maybe does that make a difference, but I mean, it's not gonna. No. I don't need to do this, right? Do I need to do this? I don't think I need to do this. No. What the hell is happening? I actually feel like I'm losing... What is happening right now? Am I doing something wrong? Is it these? That closes that. That closes that. That just returns... Oh. Wait, no, that's not it. Thought I had it. I'm so confused, guys. I actually have no idea what I'm doing wrong right now. I don't know if I'm just being blind and stupid. But I genuinely don't see anything wrong with this code. Why is it saying it's an object? It's a function. Okay, wait, there's another way we can do this, actually. We can just do a new function, which I hate, by the way. What? Why is it saying it's an object? I'm actually baffled right now. Why is it saying it's an object? Huh? Does it compile? Let's see if it compiles or not. What? Okay, what if I tried this? Function of block state. Have I imported the wrong function class? I have. I was so confused, bro. You can't be doing this to me. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I actually thought I was going insane. I really did. But no, it's just because I imported the wrong friggin' function class, because apparently the java.util one doesn't come up first. God freaking damn, man. I was about to lose it. I really was. But okay, here we are. It's always silly things like that. Yeah, so that's one thing we need to check. We need to do the straight ones as well, because otherwise this isn't going to work. Okay, we are overrun a little bit right now, but I feel like we need to do the other ones right now. Otherwise this isn't going to work, right? So here's this one. So I'm just going to take all of this. I'm going to create a new modded entity. Okay, file name. We're just going to call this. What did I use as like? I used corner, turn, conveyor, anchor positions model. Corner, turn, conveyor, anchor positions model. So if we take this and then we go into here, this is going to be this is going to be I'm trying to think, what is this called? So this is conveyor down. So down conveyor, or I don't want to call it vertical conveyors because we're going to have vertical conveyors in the future. I guess I might call them ladder conveyors though. So actually I'm going to call them vertical conveyor. Okay, and then I'm going to paste this in and I'm just going to move it to the middle. I don't know why this was described as down if it's north there, but okay. Right, so first one's going to be about there, I guess. Let's put a group around it. Let's call this root and put that in there. Okay, then we're going to create a new group, add an element to it, call this anchor 0. Okay, now we're going to go across 1. Okay, then we're going to... Oh wait, no, this is going to be anchor 0, so this is going to be anchor 1. This is anchor 0. Okay, nice. So, question, if I duplicate both of these, what does that do? 2 and 3, okay. 1, 2, and then let's do 1, 2. Because that's 2 off the ground there, right? I think so. Is that right? Well, no, this is wrong, actually. This is wrong, right? Yeah. So I need to duplicate 1, and I need to move 1 to the right, because it uses the pivot position, remember? Right? Which is in the middle of that one. So then we can duplicate again. Go to there, and then go 1, 2. Okay. Duplicate again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Duplicate again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Duplicate again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Duplicate. 1, 2, 1, 2. Duplicate. 1, 2, 1, 2. Duplicate. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. We should probably check that these are actually numbered correctly, though. So that's 0. That's 1. That's 2. That's 5. Fuck. Oh no, I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case. Bugger. What's the one after it? 4, 3, 8, 7, 6. Okay, they're all inverted though. So could I just rotate them, do you think? Do you guys think I could just rotate them and that would work? And as long as they have the same pivot, that should work, right? So if I grab like this one, so we say 5, 4, 3, and I feel like if I wait, that has not worked. Oh, because they're not in the same group. Yeah. I mean, the middle ones are all correct, aren't they? So maybe if I just rename these ones, right? So 5, 7? No. Oh, it's 5, 8. Oh, because they're going to go up in 3. So it'll be 5, 8, 11. Deselect 7. Hello, deselect 7. 5, 8, 11. 14, 17, 20, 23. Okay, can I rename all of these at once? What does that do? Temp. What does that do? Oh! Oh. No. Well, kind of. I mean, that'll work, to be fair. So this one is anchor. Alright, now I need to name these ones. So like this one is gonna be. No, that's fine as anchor 2. This one is gonna be anchor 5. Right? This one is gonna be anchor 9. Oh, we didn't like that. Is anchor 9 wrong? Anchor 9 must be wrong. So that was 6. So what's 9? Oh, wait, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be 9. Okay, maybe these are not how I thought they were. Oh, fudge, man. Okay, fine. We'll just do it the friggin' slow way then. I thought I could get away with it. I can't. And actually, that's fine. We can move them to... Wait, what? Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is 5. Oh, this is going to be such a pain to do, though. Why does it do this, man? Why can't it just do it in the order I had them originally? Like, what are we doing? Is it because of the order they're like in? Like, does it need to be 1? Oops. It needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. Yeah, but that's not 3. That's 5. That's 4. So this is 3. Right. So then 3 is 5. And then this is 3. Like that. Question, if I do them in this order, will that work? Maybe it's just the order I'm doing them in. Duplicate. So that's done 6, 7, 8. Okay. 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 1, 2, 1. Yeah, this is the one going up wide. Okay, so now I can do 9, 10. What the hell? 10, 11. What the hell is happening here? Stop it. Oh, because that needs to be in there. 1 second. You need to be in there. What the hell is happening? Hello? 9. So then 8, 9. Why is it doing this? Stop it. Bro, stop. Let me come out of here. Guys, how do I get this out of here? Do I have to do that? But that puts it in there. Okay. But I just want to... Oh my god, I'm going to lose it, guys. Bro. Block bench. Okay, that works. Okay, fine, I'll just do that then. It's annoying, but I'll have to do that. 9, 10, 11. Okay, is that correct, though? Like, are you... How are you 6? Oh, wait, that's because these are duplicated and I haven't moved them? Yes. Okay, thank goodness. So, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Okay. Figuring things out. This is ridiculous, man. This is so stupid. This is actually so incredibly stupid that we have to do this. Like, Blockbench really needs to get their shit together. 1, 2. Because this is tragic. Okay, so now we do 12, 13, 14. Okay. Okay, so this is doable. We'll just have to... 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then we do 15, 16, 17. Which puts them like that. 2 more. So then we duplicate again. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we do 18. Yeah, 18. That didn't work? Oh no, that did work actually, didn't it? 18, 19, 20. Okay, and then I think this is the last one. So then we go 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we go 21, 22, 23. Okay. Something's gone wrong because this is not right. Fuck. No. Why? What has gone wrong? Okay, it might be fine. It might be fine. Don't panic. I think if I go 1... Ah, shit. No, that's not going to work. Oh, no, that is going to work. 1, 2. Yeah, if I do that... Is that right? Is that actually... That might actually just be right, I think. I think? Maybe? I think so. It's ridiculous as it is. So now if we delete this... Technically, I don't have to delete that. But I'm going to delete that anyways. I probably shouldn't, actually, because it makes it a lot easier if I have it. But oh well, it's fine. Yeah, so if I save this, we'll save both. So BB model, I'm going to put in the BB models folder. And then the Java model, I'm going to put in source client Java dev 30 Industria model conveyor. Nice. And then one more, and then we'll end the stream. So let's close these. So last one, I actually haven't opened, interestingly enough. So I need to open the model first. Source main resources, assets, Industria, models, block, and then we're going to go conveyor straight, which is conveyor. Nice. Okay. Now this one is going to be nice and easy, thankfully. This one's going to be super duper duper easy. So just copy this, file, new, modded entity. We're going to go straight conveyor, and I already forgot what it's called. Then conveyor anchor positions model, anchor positions model. Okay. Oh, I think I forgot to turn off flip y-axis on the other one. I do need to do that, I think. Maybe. Not sure, actually. Okay, so I'll put that in here. Okay. So then we'll create the root. And then we'll create a new cube. We'll shove that cube inside of a group and call this anchor 0. Like that. Okay. So then we can do that. And go 1, 2 off the ground. And then duplicate. And I mean, this will be pretty simple, right? So I don't know necessarily if this is even necessary. I think on a straight one, we technically could just have 2 points. I'm not sure. I think so. Actually, let's try it. Because I think so. I think we could just have 2 points. I think we can just have that. And I think that will work. Because it's just going between those 2 points. Likewise on the other ones, like, we don't need as many points as I've been giving them. But I think maybe just easier to have more. I don't know. So let's go Industria, BB models. And then I have to save the Java model as well. Oops. Model, conveyor, save. Okay, I'm just going to open the recent one. So that is this one. And I'm just going to make sure that I have... I've got fabric options there. Don't think that's right. Flip y-axis, there you go. I think that needs to be off, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I also need to center the pivots, I believe. I actually... no, maybe I don't need to, but I'm going to anyways. So. Only reason I think I might not need to is because we're just going to be using the position, and the pivots are only used for rotation. But, and this is a very big but, if we want to rotate the model, which we will want to do, then, well, actually no, because we're not going to be changing we're not going to be using the pivot of each individual part. We're only going to be using the pivot of the roots. But yeah, that's fine. So let's save that as the BB model, and then let's also export the Java entity as well. Yes, okay. So let's close that. Okay, so straight. We're going to do a new straight anchor positions model, and then case up, down. We're going to do vertical as well. Okay. What? What? Excuse me? Interesting. Don't know how that happened. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to go a little bit faster on this. Can you fix... We're going to ask Codex, by the way. We're going to fix... straight corner anchor conveyor model and vertical to follow the same changes at corner angle as taken. Okay, so that's just gonna go and fix those, hopefully, so that I don't have to go through and do it. Let's see if it can actually figure out, like, what the differences are, first of all, would be a great start. Model layer registry.register model layer. We're going to do straight. And then we're also going to do vertical. I don't know what the hell it's doing. It's doing some weird shit. Okay, let me close everything and we'll just reopen these two. Okay, it's trying something. It deleted it. It literally just deleted it. Oh dear. Might not work then. Okay, let's try to add it back. Okay, if the straight one doesn't work, guys, then we know why. Okay, the vertical one might also be broken. Okay, if the straight and the vertical one don't work, guys, then we might know why. Oh no. I actually don't think we can test this today though, guys, unfortunately. Even though I've been kind of pushing through this a little bit, we're not going to be able to test it today. Because the placement of the conveyors needs to be fixed. I believe. I mean, we can try and load into a world, but I think until that's fixed, it's not going to work. Okay, I mean, it's wrote them. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's done it, so... I guess we'll try it? It's going to be really weird, because it's not going to be rotated, though. That's the only problem. So we're not really even going to be able to test it, because it's not going to do anything even remotely close to what we need it to. I mean, should we try anyways, I guess? Sure. Fuck it. Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's gonna... Oh, hello. That's fine. Let's see what happens. It's gonna do something. It might crash, but it's gonna do something. It crashed. Yeah, that's okay, but this is fixable, actually. I did think this might happen. We can fix this real quick. That's just because we're calling that there. If I call that in here, that'll work. In fact, to be honest, I'm going to call that in here as well. We'll even simplify that a little bit, just for the sake of time. We can always pass that as a parameter afterwards, so we can make this a by function or something. So it takes them both in. But okay, I mean, you know, this could work first try, guys. I mean, it won't. Like, the rotations won't work. I literally have 1,000,000% certainty on that, but we can at least see if like items move correctly between conveyors. Maybe. Let's see. This is the big test. It crashed. Why did it crash? Didn't expect it to crash that quickly, I will say. Cannot invoke because manager is not. That's yeah, that's possible. I would tend to agree, actually. Let's try again with that fixed. I mean, come on. I want to get something. I just want to get something today. And then I'll fix the rest before Sunday. Hopefully. Wait, or Saturday. I don't know when I scheduled the railroad stream for. I don't know if that's Saturday or Sunday. I might change it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I think it was Saturday I scheduled that for. Okay, so... let's try it. Let's place down some conveyors. Oh. Yeah, I just realised. We don't have a way to put things on the conveyors, do we? So, like, we're not gonna know if this works, because, like, we can't put anything on the conveyors. Right. Should we try and do that real quick? I mean, I don't have, like, anything I have to do tonight, so... I mean, we could stream until midnight for all I care. But I just don't like streaming for too long, because it'll give me a killer headache afterwards. But okay, I mean, let's try and get something. Use item on. And this shouldn't be too hard to do, right, guys? Surely not. If level is instance of server level, then we're gonna get network manager, server level, dot var. Wait. Okay, that should be level. That's fine. Okay. I'm lost now. Where was I? Here? Yeah, here. Okay. So then we do network manager dot get network at the pos. So bar network at. Okay, first of all, I guess we should say and not item stack dot is empty. Okay, then we get the network. Okay, then what we do is we get the storage. So we do network at dot get storage. Oh, get item. Wait. No, get storage. Yeah. Dot get storage at, and then we get that at the pos. Storage at might be null. Oh, because if network at is null. I see. If network at is equal null, return interaction results dot fail. Actually, I don't think that's correct, but if network manager is equal null, do the same thing. I think we want to return success, actually, if I recall correctly. I guess success server. Sure. Success server. Then we can do this. If storage at is null, do that. Then we want to do if storage at is null or storage at no. If storage at dot is full, then we want to do or not storage at dot is free between 0 and 20. Then return pass, I think. And then we can do storage at dot add items, new conveyor item, which takes in the position and the item stack dot copy. And then we do if player is not created, we shrink the stack and return interaction result dot consume, I think. Super. What does super do? Try with empty hand. Okay, that's fine. Okay. No, let's not debug. No, let's not run normally. I mean, let's debug. And then we can see if this works or not. Right? Come on, guys. Fingers crossed. Okay, it's going to take a little bit longer to load because I'm running in debug mode, but that's fine. Okay. That's fine. Oh, guys, fingers crossed. Hello, Eliatorio. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Here we go, guys. This is the final test. Well, presuming, you know, if there's something we can fix in here, like an issue with this code, then that's fine. We'll do that. But apart from that, I'm just going to create a very simple, not too complicated circuit. Okay? Then let's grab an item. Let's grab red. Sure. Let's right click. Here we go. Okay. Get container size because this item container is null. How? I'm not convinced. Is full. Storage at is full. Container dot size. How can that be null? So it's null when it's an empty one, right? When is this used? Get storage at pause. So storage is not get at default. Get or default. Get storage at. Oh, right. I see. So, I mean, we can do a new conveyor storage. If we pass in a level here. Will the conveyors transport players too? Inconclusive. Maybe. Okay, this needs a level. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know if we're going to make players move along them or not. Probably. Yeah, it depends how complicated that turns out to be. And if we can do it without a block entity or not. Because we don't want them to be block entities. That's very important. So, okay. I don't know if that's going to hot swap or not, guys. I have a feeling that's... Oh, music lagged out there. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. Here, it doesn't like this. So this needs the level, but it does have the level, so that's fine. And down here, please don't need the level. Ooh, that's fine, actually. We're going to have to restart the game here, by the way. Because that's used here. This does have access to the level, though, once again. So level, and pass in the level. Okay, and then that is called in here. Yeah, we definitely have to restart the game here. Okay. Let's restart the game then. Yeah, I mean, I think we should be able to get players moving on it without a block entity. I think. Not sure. To be fair, even if not... No. I was thinking the only other way... I mean, the world could handle that. But... Not sure. That's why we have to consider different options. At that point, like, maybe the world could get the conveyors around the player, rather than, like, all the conveyors looking for a player. I don't know. Okay, so this one's not going to work anymore because this network is invalidated. Though maybe I can... I don't know if it flood fills or not, actually. I don't think it does flood fill, so I'm just going to replace them all. We need to fix that, but that's fine. We can do that when our issues are solved. I don't remember where I started. Okay. I mean, let's see. I don't think anything happened, did it? Should we see what it's saying? Oh, you know what we probably need to do? When we add them here, we need to do network manager. No, we need to... what do we need to do? We need to set something to be dirty, right? We need to do this and set it to be dirty. here. So here we can do set dirty. Only problem is that needs a level. That's fine because we have a server level. So if I hot swap that, like there could be bread going around there right now. There isn't, but there could have been, right? Okay, so let's see what's going on then. So level. Do we get the network manager? That exists. We get the network. That exists. We get the storage. What's in the storage? I'm curious. Currently... So there are 5... Alright, but that's basically saying there's 5 items that can be in there. That doesn't mean anything is in there. Right? Yeah. So nothing's actually in there. Okay. That's fine. Let's move along. Is storage full or not free at 0.20? Okay. So we add the items. Okay. Then we set it to dirty. Oh, right. But that's not gonna... Oh, okay, right. Because that's not gonna then sync to the client, though. Right? So what I need to do in reality is that. And that hasn't changed anything. So I don't know, guys. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to end the stream here. Yeah, there just isn't much we can do about this. I think it's not syncing to the client. I think that's what's happening right now. Like if we do this... let's just skip ahead to this one. Right, so we got the storage, right? That's at the specific position, though. So if I do network at, right, we have 12 conveyors. Oh, there's no storages. Ah. So when we do get storage at, we're doing get on defaults. Okay. What we need to do is we need to do compute if absent. And then we need to do like that. I don't know if we can hot swap that or not. It says we can. Don't know if I believe it, but I mean, let's find out. So obviously, if we can get this to work, that'd be great. Okay. So now let's see, do we have network at storage? Storages. Okay. So then we add an item. So let's see, does it have it? It does. It has 1 bread. Okay. Oh, it dropped it. It just instantly just dropped it. Let's see, does it do that like consistently or, you know, what are we doing right now? Oh. Why though? What is it doing? Okay, I see what's happening. So this conveyor is facing the wrong way, I think. So if I do that, I'm gonna place one here and then I'm gonna break this one and replace it, right? So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do that. Oh! Okay, it's not working. I don't know what it's doing, but it's not working. So yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream here. I'm gonna try and fix this before Saturday, Sunday, whenever I'm streaming. I'm not sure. We'll see. You know, probably post updates in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord already, join the link in the description. It's obviously doing something, right? Like they're obviously going round because they're getting to the point of which the circuit is broken, right? So we're very close. We are very close, but it is just a matter of like how close are we? You know, you can see it's doing things because they're coming out at different positions than they went in. So, but yeah, I am going to end it here, and I will see you all on Saturday for either a railroad or Industria. I'm not sure right now. I think I currently have it scheduled as railroad, but it might be Industria. Not sure. But yeah, I will see you all then. Good. Oh, it crashed. Okay. Goodbye.